Am I wrong for paying for another bride's wedding dress, but not my daughter's? My husband and I worked hard and managed to become financially secure adults after both of us grew up in poverty. We raised our children to work hard. We did not spoil them or provide them with a lavish life. As teens, they all had part-time jobs, but we did purchase them their own used cars, which they were required to maintain. We also paid for college and we paid for our oldest 2 kids' weddings. However, we were merely the ones paying and we did not provide any input or suggestions unless asked. The only thing we didn't pay for their weddings was our son's tuxedo and our oldest daughter's wedding dress. Our youngest daughter, Michaela, is engaged and we are paying for her wedding with the exception of her dress. She must buy her own wedding dress. Michaela invited her dad and I to watch her try on dresses with the bridal party. She found a beautiful dress in her budget and we were so honored to have been allowed to take part in her finding the dress and seeing herself as a bride. Hey, I really like these parents. They sound really dope. While there, I complimented another bride on a dress she was wearing, and her mother and I struck up a conversation where I learned that the family was low income and both the bride and groom and the bride's parents had taken out loans to have a beautiful wedding. I 100% disagree with people who have to take out loans to have weddings. Don't have the wedding. Have a party in your house. Go hurrah, buy a cheap white dress from like Ross or something, but you should never take out loans. That's how the system destroys us, because society has brainwashed us into thinking that you have to have this lavish lifestyle wedding. Why would you put yourself into debt over one night? Like, why? The bride is also plus sized, and I learned that she had been to 6 different stores and there had only been a few options for her size, and all of them had just been awful. The bride ended up falling in love with the last dress she tried on, but was heartbroken to learn that the consultant had misread the price tag and the dress was actually $1,000 over budget. And with alterations to make it her size, it was another $1,400. The bride took the dress off and said she'd try to find something online. I grew up poor and I was also a chubby kid. I was bullied and I was very unhappy. I always wanted more, and in this bride I saw myself, and I didn't want her to have to settle for a dress that fit versus a dress that she loved. So while my daughter was changing, I asked the other bride if I could pay the difference on her dress. It was very emotional. We all held each other and cried. She accepted. See, that's such a nice gesture though. Like, that is really sweet. I very happily paid the difference on her dress. Her mother, herself, and I are now friends on Facebook, and my husband and I have been invited to the wedding, which we will gladly attend. I felt very honored to have been allowed to help this girl in a very small way, but being invited to her wedding was so unexpected and amazing. When Michaela found out about this, she threw a fit and said that I obviously had shown how I truly feel about her wedding and herself, and if I cared at all, I'd have paid for her dress too. She's now not speaking to me or her father, who didn't even have a hand in this, which is unfair. She has now uninvited us from the wedding. We're so hurt and confused. Was I an asshole? Am I wrong for telling my sister I will no longer give her my breast milk? I, 28 female, had a stillbirth 5 weeks ago. My sister gave birth to a healthy baby boy 4 weeks ago. After my stillbirth, I was producing milk and pumping, and my sister couldn't breastfeed after her son was born. Formula shortage was awful, and I was literally throwing my milk away, so I offered it to my sister, and she gladly accepted it. I was advised by the doctors to pump for 3 weeks after the stillbirth to prevent problems for me. And then stop. Otherwise, I'd just keep producing milk. Due to the formula shortage, I had been pumping for 5 weeks now to give the milk to my sister. Now that there is more formula in stock and she has been able to go buy it, I told her I'll stop pumping. She told me her son has stomach problems after the formula and asked me to keep pumping. I told her I emotionally cannot handle it any longer. She said I am being selfish and she already has to feed her son by bottle because she at first suggested I just nurse him for his daily feedings at least. We live next door and I refused. I told her I am sorry and I can pump for a few more days so she can put some in the freezer and have some backup until she finds a better formula for her son. But she said breast milk is the healthiest and I should just help her out. She called me a selfish asshole and said that I am the embodiment of misery loves company. What? How can people say this to their own sister? My mother feels I should help my own sister out. My husband said my sister is way out of line. I feel really awful because I could still help her out and I know she needs it. Oh, heck no. You did her more than enough by giving 5 weeks of milk when you were supposed to stop at 3. And she's, the entitlement is like blowing my mind. If she wants to give her kid breast milk, she needs to try harder to feed him. Like, why is she putting that on you? Do you know how much of a strain it is on your body, on your day? You have to go about your whole day going around trying to pump because you're producing. Oh, get out of here. She needs to take a chill pill. Am I wrong for ruining my boyfriend's birthday party? My boyfriend just turned 30 and had a big party to celebrate it. I hadn't been feeling well the last couple of weeks leading up to it, but I was determined to make his birthday a great one. Due to my job and financial reasons, I haven't been able to take many days off, so I scheduled a doctor's appointment in the morning of his birthday so I could celebrate in the evening. I found out that I was pregnant during the appointment and was ecstatic. We've been trying for a baby for 6 years and I thought this would be the perfect present for him. When I got home, there were a few people already there for the party. I asked my boyfriend if we could speak in private and he ignored me. I asked again and he told me that if it was so important, I could just wait 5 minutes while he talked to his friends. So I just told him. He got extremely mad and started yelling in my face about how I was trying to ruin his day. What? He got extremely mad and started yelling in my face about how I was trying to ruin his day and that today was supposed to be about him and not me. Oh, this is gonna be your baby daddy, I'm sorry. He told all of the people there to leave and messaged everybody else not to come because I ruined the day. He then stormed out the house and still hasn't come back. I'm still so shocked and confused. He was so excited to try for a baby, but his reaction made no sense. My mom says that while it was a great surprise, I probably should have waited as it was his day. So, am I the asshole? Am I wrong for telling my entire family that my cousin's child-free wedding isn't 100% child-free and refusing to attend? I need some insight to see if I'm in the wrong because I really don't feel like I am. I, 32 female, just received an invite to my cousin Alex's 30 female wedding. It stated on the invite that the wedding was child-free. I'm not new to child-free weddings, but what has me frustrated is the fact that there will be children in the wedding. Alex plans on having her and her fiance's 33 male nieces and nephews at their wedding. I overheard her asking her sister if her niece could be the flower girl at a family get-together. This confused me because child-free means no children, so I called Alex and asked. I told her and said that if her nieces and nephews are going, then my daughter, 5, similar in age to her nieces and nephews, should be allowed to go too. Alex said that only those in the bridal party are the exception and that she wants her nieces and nephews at the wedding. When I asked why they could come and not my daughter, she said it's because she knows her nieces and nephews are well behaved so there will be no issues. She also knows her sister and my brother-in-law parent very well, and to top it off, she is a teacher who wants a day where she doesn't have to deal with children of others. She also said she is closer to them. I told her that her reasoning was ridiculous because child-free means no kids, including her nieces and nephews. Alex told me I was more than welcome to decline the invite, so I did. I ended up venting to my mother, who is married to Alex's dad's brother, and while she didn't agree with Alex, she said she could understand her feelings. However, my dad didn't like it and called her dad. My uncle Mitch asking why my daughter could not come. Mitch told my dad that it is Alex's wedding and she can do as she pleases. He also said cousins are not the same as nieces and nephews, especially since they're in the bridal party. My dad said since Mitch is paying for it that he should talk to Alex into allowing children. But he declined and said that he and my aunt don't believe paying for the wedding gives them a say, and even if it did, he agrees with Alex. This upset my dad, so then he told other family members. Now, several members are upset that Alex and her future husband, nieces, and nephews will be there, but no one else is allowed to bring their children. We have a large family and we all watch each other's children, so finding childcare will be difficult. Most of the family says it's Alex's wedding and her reason makes sense, but I and some of my cousins are refusing to attend. Alex doesn't seem to care one way or another. One cousin told Alex she was bringing her child anyway, to which Alex said, "Make sure you wear sneakers so it's easier on your feet as you're escorted back to your car." Which is how we found out she's having the security guard from her school checking the guest list and that he knows to not let any children in. So, am I the asshole? 100,010% you are the asshole. I'm very passionate on this topic. Let me tell you guys why. Because as someone who does have nieces and nephews, it's my wedding, which means it's my rules. I don't want your child there. They cannot come. Simple as that. You do not get to rebuttal. Well, you said no child. Shut the fuck up. Okay? Literally, if my nephews and nieces will be there, if I liked you and your kid, I would invite you. But if I say no children, you do not get to pity parade, okay? You can't go. That's part of being a parent. The sacrifices you make. Find a babysitter or don't go. You don't get to bitch about it because this pisses me off so much. Weddings are not for children unless the bridal party wants you there. That's it. Like, stop. End of discussion. Stop. After 18 years of marriage, I just found out that my children are not mine. My wife, Kelly, and I have known each other for over 20 years, and I have been married to her for 18. We have 17-year-old twins, a boy and a girl. And I found out that they aren't mine 2 days ago. My kids got those ancestry tests for the family, and we found out that I am not their father. Kelly and I met each other as coworkers at a job right out of college. We both were very ambitious, so after working for a couple of years, we decided to start our own business. We fell in love, and a year after starting our business, we got married. A couple of months into our marriage, we had a massive fight over the direction we wanted to take our business in, and I left our home. She came to me a couple of weeks later, and we compromised. We've been inseparable ever since. Kelly got pregnant around that time. We've been through thick and thin. Our business has been through several hardships, but we weathered them together. We were always there for each other. We could always depend on one another, and I loved her so much. She was a part of me, and I couldn't imagine a life without her. I trusted her absolutely until this happened. Kelly has been crying and apologizing constantly. She told me that during the time we had that fight at the start of our marriage, she got drunk one night and slept with a random guy, and that she has not cheated on me since. The betrayal has left me disoriented. I told Kelly I needed some time to process this, and I'm currently staying at a hotel. I don't know what I'm even doing anymore. The last 2 days have been a blur. I feel like a zombie, completely unable to feel or process anything. I don't intend to abandon my kids. I might not be their father, but I'm still their dad, and I love them dearly. My thoughts are a mess, so I'm writing this down to help me process. Kelly has always been a great wife and an excellent business partner. I don't know if I'll be able to look at her the same again or if I'll be the same person. I don't know how to move forward or if I even can.
So I didn't go to prom when I was younger, and when everyone found out, they were like, Malola, you're not going to prom? To prom? And I was like, no. But we're gonna dress so nice and like get our hair and makeup done and wear like a fancy dress, okay? People felt so bad for me that I wasn't able to go to prom. But let me tell you this. All y'all people who did go to prom, when was the last time you dressed up like that? Beautiful gowns, hair, makeup, all did and done. When was the last time? You see that flag right there? Okay, that means I'm Afghan. Okay, so everyone in that region and above and below, you guys know what I'm talking about when I say we dress like that and better on like a regular